mint number. Do they matter? Does it matter at all? Let's find out. So basically, how can I predict what's going to happen in the future? What's going to happen with the rarities and the mint numbers? One place I can look is the modern comic book markets. And why look there? A lot of modern comics are released with variants, other issue numbers, ratioed variants. And ratioed variants is one of the things I'm going to be looking at. The most common ones I found are 1 in 10 ratios, where you have to order 10 copies of a comic to get 1 copy of the variant. There's 1 in 25 ratios, where you got to order 25 to get one. 1 in 50, 1 in 75, 1 in 200, 1 in 100. So basically, I picked a few modern comics at random to just kind of look at this price disparity to see where things are sitting. These are like bigger keys, bigger books in the last couple years. First one is the 2018 Venom series, issue 1. Venom number 1 from 2018, written by Donny Cates. So Venom number 1, the first printing right now is going for roughly $12 on average for a high-grade raw copy. The 5th printing is selling for about 4 times that, at $45. The 5th printing has like a sketch variant cover, and there was only 5,000 copies sold to comic book shops. So there's only 5,000 copies of the 5th printing ordered. So it's rare compared to the first printing, which is what gives it the price disparity. It's like 4 times the price because there's so few copies out there. And it has the added bonus of having an attractive cover to collectors. The next one we're going to look at, first 3 are going to be from the same comic book series, same run. This is Venom number 3. This one is the first appearance of a new villain in the Marvel Universe called Null. A raw high-grade copy of Venom number 3 will set you back about $200. Now, with this one, the 3rd printing is $225. And why is the 3rd printing more valuable than the first printing? Basically, the 3rd printing featured the first cover appearance. That adds value, and that actually makes the 3rd printing more of a key. That comic also had a 1 in 25 ratio. The closest comparison I could make on VV would be a rare. So the 1 in 25 ratio of that comic is going for $300, so $100 more, because it's more rare. We go to Venom number 9. Like I said, we're sticking with the same run just for this one, then I've got some more examples to give you. But this one, Venom number 9, is the first appearance of Dylan Brock, Eddie Brock's son. I haven't finished this one, but I believe he becomes Venom. I think he takes over for Eddie and becomes the next Venom. But his first appearance is in Venom number 9. A raw copy of that right now is about $80. That one had a 1 in 10 ratio. Closest comparison with that one is an uncommon, and that is going for about $50 more, $130. But a lot of these had other variant covers that are worth less than the common cover. And why is that? There's nothing special, but they're just another variant. And in that case, it's gonna sell for less. But the ones I'm pointing out that are selling for more, they're selling for more because they are rarer. They're like ratioed, or they were under ordered, or they have a key appearance on the cover. That's kind of what are setting those apart. Ultimate Fallout 4. It's telling me you can get a high grade raw copy of that for $780. And there was a 1 in 25 variant with that one, which is the secret rare cover on VV. And that one it's saying is $3K, but you're not gonna find one for $3,000. Last one I saw for sale was graded, and it was going for $35,000. And it's saying if you can find a newsstand edition of this, one sold in the actual newsstands, then you're going to look at $4,000 for that edition of it. Again, there's other rarities of Ultimate Fallout 4 that, in other variants, other covers, other printings that aren't worth as much as the actual cover A. It's just the 1 in 25 variant that's worth more. Next one I looked at was Thanos 13. That one, again, has a lot of variant covers. The original cover is worth $100 in high grade raw. And most of the other ones are not worth, I think there's some worth $14, $15. There's a 1 in 10 variant. And this 1 in 10 variant, which again would be like the uncommon, is only going for $30, where the regular cover is going for $100. So this one's going for less. And I think it's not a very attractive cover to collectors. It's just not something people really were after, I don't think. I don't look at it and like, oh wow, I want to have that cover. But the 1 in 25 variant, that one's going for $550. Strange Academy one's going for about $100 right now. Now this one has a Peach Momoka variant. And there's also the Peach Momoka Virgin variant. The non-virgin variant of this one goes for $115, so $15 more than the regular cover. The virgin variant goes for $280 of this one. And a lot of it has to do with the artist, Peach Momoka. She's a fan favorite. There's a lot of fans of the artist, and it's also the character, Magic. A lot of people are a fan of Magic, so I think the combination of the two makes, and the fact that it's a store exclusive cover, you could only get it from a particular store. So that alone, I think, just added a little bit of value to that particular variant. But that one stuck out. It was $115 for the regular and $280 for the virgin variant. Virgin variants will fetch a premium if the fans are into the art or the artist and they're a collector of that artist. A lot of people like the virgin variants because it's just the art, and they like to get those graded and just have them slabbed and hung on their wall. So there will be virgin variants like that of certain comics that will collect a premium. That comic also had a 1 in 25 variant, which was going for $180, which was $100 less than the virgin variant actually. But it also has a 1 in 50 variant. The closest comparison on BB, I would put that as like an ultra rare. And that goes for $280. So that's the same price as the virgin variant. And then none of the comics I looked at had a 1 in 75 or 1 in 100 or 1 in 200. So what does that do with the price difference where it's like a secret rare type rarity? And I just picked a random issue. Wolverine 310. Just a random issue of Wolverine. It has a 1 in 100 and a 1 in 200 cover. So it has technically 2 secret rare covers. But the regular cover, Wolverine 310, the regular cover goes for $3. The 1 in 100 cover goes for $350, and the 1 in 200 cover goes for about $650. But basically, a regular variant cover is not going to really fetch a premium, and it's probably not even going to catch up to the price of the actual regular cover A comic. You start adding the rarities in there to it, it seems like the rarer the comic, the more of a premium it tends to get, for the most part. There are exceptions, and it seems the exceptions have to do with the covers. If the cover is not attractive to the collector, that one doesn't seem to, like the Thanos example. That's the one I found out of the ones I looked at, that's the only one that did not follow the rule of the rare comic being worth more. And I think just by judging it, I think it's because of the cover of that one, honestly. And when it comes down to the mint numbers, I agree with most of what I hear from a lot of the people talking around the community already about kind of the mint number is going to determine the grade of your comic. The lower the mint, the higher the grade of your comic. I think that's kind of where the mint number is going to come into play. And I've heard a lot of other people in the community talk about that, and I just agree. I know Sleepin' Comics has talked about that, and I'm basically on the same page. It makes the most sense. Your mint number is going to determine the grade of your comic. I think the rarer the comic, the better it's going to be. In other cases, like I talked about in one of my other videos, Captain America #1, if that comes to VV, you're not going to win any cover but the original iconic cover of that comic. Because that's what that comic book is known for, is its cover. When it comes to comics like that, it doesn't matter if there's a rarer version because it's not the same cover. And that's why you want that comic to begin with, is for the cover. And most of the examples I looked at showed that the rarer the comic, the more it's going to be worth compared to the original counterpart. With the Wolverine comic being the most extreme example, $3 for the common and $650 for the rarest version. And it's just a standard Wolverine comic. No key issue or anything. So that's where my thoughts are on that. Really though, as long as you have a copy, I think you're doing okay, especially in these early days. But at least the modern buyer in the current comic book market seems to pay a premium for rarity over having the original cover.